love to be at the Yingling Center because I have a feeling the tension in the crowd, the atmosphere of the crowd is going to be very, very similar to when Roman defended the title against Goldberg. When Roman defended the title against Goldberg, that entire arena, myself included, we're just like gritting our teeth, just sitting on the edge of our seats, like just finish it, just end this. Like we still had PTSD from Crown Jewel and Goldberg beating the Fiend in like 45 seconds. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Good Wednesday here on the Takedown on SI YouTube channel. Rick Ucchino alongside Zack Heydorn today. We're going to be riding one-on-one today here, doing Saturday night's main event predictions because, there's 4 matches on the card this weekend. Should be a relatively simple weekend, although a busy one because this is just the start. Because, Zack, we have Saturday night's main event on Saturday, obviously, but then we got a double header coming up on Sunday with NXT Battleground and AEW Double or Nothing. We will have a Double or Nothing prediction show coming up this Friday. So Friday will actually be a double header for us because we'll have takedown discussions here on the SI YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Our Double or Nothing prediction show with SP3, myself, and you will drop at noon. So busy week, but hey, it's never a bad week when we get to talk about professional wrestling.
It really isn't. And yeah, like if you're a big wrestling fan and you thought, hey, maybe I'll do some family stuff for a barbecue on Memorial Day weekend, you're not going to have a chance. You are stocked up with wrestling shows. And yeah, we got you covered on all the previews. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
Interesting for this card, talking specifically Saturday night's main event here. We do have the 4 matches, like I said. I'll run down real quick. We got Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Steel Cage, right? We got the big tag team match. Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, CM Punk. They're all involved in that one. John Cena versus R-Truth. And then we have our World Heavyweight Championship match, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. But I'm noticing, there's something missing. There's something missing on this show. Can you put your finger on what we might be missing here on a Saturday night's main event in Tampa? I'm a women's wrestling fan in Central Florida. I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean, for real. And it just seemed like, there was ample opportunity to do something here with the women, even if it's just like a random title match for, not even random, but like a short build title match for Io Sky. Tiffany just defended the title on SmackDown against Nia Jax.
I was very surprised that was the match that didn't end up on this show.
Yeah, like that one seems like a layup to like be included in something like this. So it is surprising. They still have one more show, so we can't never say never. But as of right now, no women's match.
Yeah, I think they could. There's 2 directions that they could go. I think it would be very easy to announce, like a Becky Lyra 2 after what happened on Monday. If they wanted to go that direction, I think there's going to be more build to that. And with Becky not being in Money in the Bank now, which is something that we discussed as her being a possible winner on the takedown discussion past Friday. So now she's out of the equation unless they do like a last, sometimes they do like that second chance triple threat. So it's possible she still winds up in there, but you could do Lyra and Becky at Money in the Bank, and maybe that's when Bayley comes back. I think the most logical thing to do, something that would be very easy to do for Saturday night's main event, is your final women's qualifier for Money in the Bank for the SmackDown side of things. So already on Friday, we know that we are getting Julia, who is now on SmackDown officially, Charlotte Flair, and Zelina Vega. What if on Saturday they went ahead and they did Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Nia Jax as the triple threat qualifier that they could do in Tampa on Saturday night? I think it would slot right in. That match would be 10 minutes. You could squeeze that in. Done. Fine. All everybody satisfied at that point. Because that, to me, that's a big time matchup. All 3 of those women have been involved with one another. You can throw it up on the Saturday card. Do you need to have a women's qualifier next Friday? Like, I know you would have the women's side all wrapped up on the blue brand, but it's like, you don't need to slow play all 3 people are. I think it's pretty safe to say that those are the 3 that are going to be involved in the final qualifier.
Yeah, I think that works. And I mean, and that's really like, again, we're talking off air real quick, like trying to piece together what another match could look like. And the pieces just aren't there at this point. So that makes the most sense to me if they add one. But if I were a bet man, I would just say that they're going to go with 4 matches here, and that's it.
Well, the first one we're going to talk about is a WrestleMania rematch. And, you know, how do you one up a street fight? Well, you do street fight rules, Zach, but you contain, Zach. You contain. If anybody got that reference, by the way, that I just laid out there, put it in the comments. You are now my favorite person in the world. All right. I don't know if Zach got that one.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So
okay, the contain, Zach. Contain. You don't know what that is?
No. I want to now. Someone please do the comments, because I don't want to ruin Rick's game here and ask him. So put it in the comments so I can check later.
That is such a deep cut reference. Like, if anybody got that, I would be floored. But that's just, you know, me being an 80s movie. That might have been late.
You've now distracted me for the rest of the show as I try to think about what this.
I'll tell you later. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember when that movie came out. It was either like late 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
Anyway, you contain it inside of a steel cage match, and that's what we're getting with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. We had Drew get the win at WrestleMania. Zach, does Damian Priest get his win back here in Tampa on Saturday night's main event?
I think he does. I think Damian Priest gets the W. This has been a fun little upper mid-card feud on SmackDown that has pretty big roots to it, which I like in my pro wrestling feud. So I continue to enjoy what they're doing here. I'm looking forward to this chapter. And yeah, I think if you want to keep Damian Priest on a similar level to where he is now, on a similar level to Drew, if you think, hey, maybe in the future we want to put him in a match with John Cena, get a title defense out of Cena with Priest, you got to have him win this match. So I put him over here. I think the cage will help that. It'll be protection for Drew, but I think it's time to give Damian that win. And also, if you do that, it leaves open the opportunity for a potential trilogy bout down the road. So yeah, all signs to me point towards Damian Priest getting this W.
And that's kind of where I'm at too. You mentioned like the trilogy matchup and wrapping this up. I'm not 100% sold that this is it this weekend. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
They can say that they're done, but I'm looking at like the landscape of the world title picture, everything that's going on. Like, I don't know where you go with these guys, because I don't see either one of them as a potential challenger for either John Cena or Jey Uso right now, depending on when the draft is going to be. Plus, you got Money in the Bank. Maybe one of these guys is involved in the Money in the Bank. Right now, we only got one guy as of this recording who's qualified for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and that's Solo Sikoa. So I do think Damian gets his win back here. It's gonna go one of two ways. Damian gets it to continue this feud, or somebody somewhere, something happens to screw over Drew McIntyre to draw his ire, and he goes after that person because he's now been screwed over by that person. It's always like Drew McIntyre is stuck on like side quest mode. Yeah. Like for like a year, it was like, I'm gonna get my world championship. Nothing is gonna stop me from getting it. And then he gets it, and then Punk screws him out of it like immediately. And then it's been like one side quest after another, and he's like kind of lost focus. He even said like 2 weeks ago, Cena's a chump now. I don't want John Cena anymore. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, is that just his is that just WWE's rationale to keep him out of the world title picture? Because he absolutely should be there.
He should be there. It's a crowded picture. And although, look, if he somehow makes his way to Raw with some kind of draft, that's immediately a really good feud for Jey Uso. Yeah, provided Jey Uso is the champion long enough, right? I mean, he's got so many challengers already with Seth and with Logan and with everybody else on that show.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
We'll talk about that coming up.
So it's just, you just don't know if and when the time's going to come. But I mean, he's certainly worthy of that from a star perspective. It's just a matter of finding time for it to happen.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement, though. Damian Priest is
away.
going to walk away somehow, some way. Maybe he escapes the cage and that keeps that going. Who knows? We got our tag team bout here. It is Sami Zayn. It is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. This is an all-star tag team match here, Zach. But for me, this is very simple. My analysis does not extend any further than this. It is way too damn soon to put a loss on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. This is like the next big, dangerous alliance in professional wrestling. Can Sami Zayn and CM Punk coexist? They might, but it ain't gonna matter. Seth and Braun win. They have WWE creative immunity in my point of view on this one. They win. They hands down they win.
Yeah, 100%. It's just way too soon. It's way too soon for Seth and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman for that faction to be doing anything except just kind of dominating, especially in big time matches. Yes, you can have baby faces kind of get their comeuppance, much like they did this week on Raw. You get big pops for Sami Zayn, huge pop for Punk. The baby faces run them off. That type of thing is fine. But when it comes down to do the business of the actual match, you just can't have them taking losses right now. It's that simple. And, I think Sami Zayn, if you're a Sami Zayn fan and he takes a loss in this match, I would keep your head up, because I think that this is a bigger story with Sami, like going down this road of wanting to be world champion. He's kind of had this little interaction, this little cross paths with this Seth Rollins faction. They tried to get him to kind of join or move on, or I just think that, yes, he's probably going to take the loss in this match, but I do think the context around that will be a bigger story for him moving forward.
The WWE Championship not on the line, as far as we know. I have not heard it be advertised that it's on the line, but that does not matter in this context. This is the matchup. It is John Cena, the never seen 17-time world champion, going up against R-Truth, the man who claims that John Cena is his childhood hero, even though R-Truth is in fact older than John Cena. Look, now I have seen some people who are like either annoyed or like doing the internet eye roll that this matchup is even taking place. I really don't have a problem with this match taking place whatsoever. I think it is a great nod to R-Truth to get him involved, and it shows I feel like it's an ultimate sign of respect for what R-Truth has been able to do in his career, who he is one of the all-time great comedy characters in professional wrestling history, period, end of story. Like, he will be in the WWE Hall of Fame one day, there's no doubt in my mind. So giving him this rub, this honor, because it really seems like they're putting John Cena on this trajectory of he's going to be facing a lot of ghosts from his past and people that he has been involved with, and kind of wrapping up any lingering storylines here. Putting this matchup, a non-title matchup, on an NBC special, it's not even a premium live event. I don't have a problem with it. And the fact, though, that the WWE Championship is not on the line does open the possibility that R-Truth steals one here, Zach. Where are you leaning?
It does open up the possibility. So it's a great call on the bookers for keeping that title not on the line so that it keeps open. Because you can look, like, if the title's on the line, you know what's going to happen here. And it's always better to go into something.
It's academic.
A little bit of open-ended. That said, I would mess around here. I think they're just going to have, it's going to play out kind of like the Gunther Pat McAfee match. I think you're going to get your hope spots in from R-Truth. Maybe you get like a Cody Rhodes run-in or something like that if you really want to get fancy and see Cody come back. But in the end, I think that there is a lot of value in using this R-Truth match to get heat on Cena. Like, people like R-Truth. He's a sympathetic guy. He's a fun babyface to cheer for. And if the match is constructed right and you can get a lot of sympathy on him, and Cena could be walking out of that building would just mercilessly booed. And I think that'd be a really good card to play for WWE at this point in time, with SummerSlam looming and other big matches coming down the road where you want the heat to be on Cena. So I'm gonna take Cena here. But again, I do. It is a really good play to not have that title be on the line.
I really want something major to happen on this show, because I really want these shows to be something, for lack of a better term, special. Like, I don't want them to just be glorified house shows, right? So like, I want these to continue to be draws. I want them to mean something. And the first couple, at least the first one, right? Like, it was guaranteed, like, we had something special that happened. Chelsea Green won the Women's United States Championship. That was a guarantee, though. It was the end. It was the finals. It was the end of a tournament here. I don't remember a whole lot, like, really big happening on the last one. It was like everything was like, too, like, it was very, very predictable what was going to happen. Still a good show ultimately. And if memory serves correct, I think the contract signing between, Cody and KO kind of stole the show, with Shawn Michaels getting involved.
Yeah.
They really sell these with nostalgia and, the throwback and everything like that. And, they make it more of a spectacle than something where something of substance is actually really genuinely going to happen. They book title matches that we know that these titles are not going to change hands more often than not. And we'll get to that coming up here in a minute with the main event. So for me, I'm calling my shot because I want to see it happen. Cody Rhodes comes back. This is where they bring him back into the fold. Shock returns. Something of substance happens. And R-Truth steals one with a crucifix roll-up when John Cena's back is turned. So with the title not on the line, I am taking R-Truth to get the pop of the night and pin John Cena to knock him off. And maybe he gets a title match because he beat the champion, and then John can whoop his ass and get his heat.
Yeah. That would work. That would work. So. Man, who would have thought predicting R-Truth over John Cena with realistic logic? And here we are.
Hey, man, Zack Gowen wrestled on national television. Like, anything is possible.
Things are flying around all over the damn place.
You can check out that interview, by the way, that Zack did with Zack. It was The Sweet Life of Zack and Zack. There's another old school reference for you. That's available here on the Takedown on SI YouTube channel. And a quick plug, by the way, within the last week, we've talked to Leah Van Dale, who was known as Carmella, Daria Baronato, who was known as Sonya Deville. We had both the winners from WWE LFG on the channel this week as well. So a lot of good stuff. Check those out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on any of our great interview content or talk shows or prediction shows like this right here. We always appreciate the support. Give the videos a thumbs up as well. That really helps drive up our engagement. So thank you guys very much for the support. Last but not least, God, can you tell I took a nap before this recording? I cannot talk. It is Jey Uso in the main event. I think this is the main event.
Yeah, they said Well, I mean, that's what they said yesterday.
Okay, all right, but it's WWE, main event.
Yeah, you can always change. Yeah, if Cody's coming back, I don't think this will be the main event. But
yeah. Well, damn, I might have just tipped my hand on that one. Screw that one up. You're right. They usually like to leave the big stuff for last. But anywho, it's main event Jey Uso on Saturday night's main event, defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. Jey wins or we riot here, Zach. What's going on? What do you think?
Holy smokes. Jey wins or we riot. The good thing is, I think Jay's going to win. And I like him getting a main event slot. Yes, it's against Logan Paul. Yes, it's at Saturday night's main event. I get it. But you want to occasionally put this championship in the main event positions so that the champion, in this case, Jey Uso, comes across as like a brand leading star. And this is a good spot for Jey to take that. Just to take that spot and own it and run with it as like the lead babyface on this show. And I think that's really important for him and his title reign. Plus, this match is going to be hot from a crowd perspective because I think people just don't really know how invested Paul Levesque is with Jey Uso as champion. And so with that in the back of your mind, in a meta sense, fans are going to be just worried at all times that Jey Uso may lose the championship. Maybe it's against Gunther, maybe it's against Logan Paul, but I just think that he's that kind of babyface where you're kind of always looking out for him. Like, oh man, this could be it. This could be it. And I think they're going to be able to capitalize on that drama. I still think Jey wins and he heads into another match with Gunther on that Raw show. But I'm looking forward to this one. I think that Jey and Logan have had some good chemistry together. It's clear heel versus babyface. I love when you can set the lines up that way in pro wrestling. And this is very well done in that regard.
You call this a good spot for Jey Uso. I think this is a great spot for Jey Uso to close the show against Logan Paul, who, say what you want about him, think what you want about him. He is a draw. He does have a fan base. He does bring in a widespread audience. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in this spot. If he didn't have value to WWE, he would not be where he's at right now. And he is very, very good at what he does, at being a heel, at being a schmarmy little shit. Pun intended, or not pun intended, but pardon my French is what I'm trying to say here. He even just as simple as last Monday night, right, where he clocks Jey Uso for the fourth time, and he's still, sporting like he's bleeding a little bit from the mouth, and he just takes that moment to just like wipe the blood away from his teeth and give like a little wink and a nod to the camera. Like the guy just he knows how to just soak in the moment and feed off the energy of the crowd. This is something that he got from his very first match at WrestleMania. I still think one of the most impressive things I've seen from him was that WrestleMania tag team match where he was with The Miz. It was against the Mysterios, and he's climbing up to the top rope in his first ever match. It's at WrestleMania. I forget, was that in Dallas? I think that was that 38? I can't remember.
Yeah, 38. Yep.
Yeah. So you got the entire AT&T Stadium like going nuts, and he had the wherewithal to like just climb up to the top rope, take his time, soak everything in, do the Eddie Guerrero like shoulder shimmy and like really, really get some heat. It was such a simple thing, but we've seen people come in, people like Stephen Amell, right, come in and just like not get that and grasp that and harness that. And he's done that from day one. So he's very good. This is a good spot for Jey Uso. The fact that Logan has dominated this and gotten one over on Jey every single week, to me, telegraphs that Jey is winning this. But it is nice that they have at least sown that doubt in your mind that Logan could steal this one. They've even set up him and Gunther as a potential matchup coming up on June 9th, the first Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. All that said, Jey's winning. Like Jey is winning. I would love to be at the Yuengling Center because I have a feeling the tension in the crowd, the atmosphere of the crowd is going to be very, very similar to when Roman defended the title against Goldberg. When Roman defended the title against Goldberg, that entire arena, myself included, we're just like gritting our teeth, just sitting on the edge of our seats, like just finish it, just end this. Like we still had PTSD from Crown Jewel and Goldberg beating the Fiend in like 45 seconds. Like we still had that stress. I have a feeling that's exactly what the atmosphere is going to be like. Saturday night in Tampa, but Jey coming down, you're right. He's going to get the crowd hot. This is a big audience for him on NBC, primetime television on a Saturday night. Great spot for him. He's going to win. I don't know if his world title reign is going to go much past June 9th, to be honest with you. I think they're setting up something big for that. Otherwise, why would you put the world title match on a random Monday Night Raw in June when you got a premium live event 2 days before?
Yeah, hype it so much.
Maybe WWE's telegraphing here like they tend to. But there we go. Well, we have. I'm going on a ledge. R-Truth. That's
R-Truth. Oh,
that's the only pick that we didn't have the same on this one. But I had a feeling that was going to be. Maybe they'll shock us this weekend. Maybe they'll do something we wouldn't expect. Right? Maybe somebody gets involved in that tag team match and they screw over Seth and Braun. What's going to be interesting with that, though? I don't think they are going to lose. But if Seth and Braun do lose, which one of them loses? Right? Like that's
Yeah. I mean, and that's why ultimately that's why I just don't think it's going to happen. But But I mean, hey, never say never. I mean, never say never. I mean, look, we don't exactly know where this thing is going. And if, it seems like they've set up like Jey, Sami, and Punk like opposite this Seth group, which means you'd think that Seth group is going to get one more. So maybe that's how they do a W. They get a W with the help of somebody else. So you never know.
Return of Sami Zayn. Come on, do it. We'll see. We'll see. If anybody wondering why I want that so badly, we talked about this on a couple of takedowns ago. Takedown discussions. Check it out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Zach and I will be back this Friday at 9 a.m. And then we'll be back again Friday at noon with SP3 for AEW Double or Nothing predictions. We're all over the place. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy Saturday night's main event.